it's Katie. Welcome to another Q&A Tuesday. I don't have a name for these, but really just every Tuesday for the rest of the summer. Oh, forgot to breathe. Every Tuesday for the rest of the summer, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A on like a different topic. And today's topic is going to be what other people think about me living in my car and the way that I live my lifestyle. There are quite a few of you who were really curious to see what friends, what family, what employers, what people that I might be dating, what people just that I meet in general, what they think about my lifestyle and that I live in my car and that I sleep in my car and that I travel all the time and stuff like that. And so let's just jump right in. So someone asked, I'm just curious what your family thinks about you living in your car and have they offered to help you out? And so I think there is a semi-common misconception, at least with my channel, where people think, oh, she lives in her car, she must not have any money, and she must not have any family, and she must not have anywhere to go. That's not it. It's that I love traveling so much, and this is just the way that works well for me. This is the lifestyle I've chosen, and so I don't need help. So that's kind of something that I really did want to address because a lot of people bring that up. On top of that question, they said, curious what your family thinks. So honestly, I don't think most of my family knows because I'm always so all over the place. Sometimes I'll get apartments. Like last time I had an apartment was about a year and a half ago. But so the few years before that, I'd stay in my car, I'd travel, and then I'd go get an apartment. So I think a lot of my family just kind of never knows when I'm in my car versus when I'm in an apartment, honestly, because it's been so back and forth. But my family who definitely does know, like my close family who does know, I think honestly they're just used to it by now and they know that this is what I like. My mom obviously still worries, but that's just mom's worry. That's just a thing, but she does trust me and she knows that I live in my car and I sleep in my car in this safest way I know how. And my dad, I think, again, just trusts me as well. And if he does worry, he doesn't tell me. And my few brothers and stuff that know, I think that they just, I don't know. I think it's just kind of normal for them. So I think it's just like, oh yeah, my sister who lives in her car, you know, I think it's just kind of normal. So the next, I guess this video is really just gonna be how like my family, friends, significant other, and job and stuff like that, like how everyone reacts, and YouTube. That's gonna be last. I'm gonna tell you guys how you guys react because that's a fun one. So yeah, the next is how do you tell a significant other that you live in their car and how do they react? So I'm single, but I do date kind of often. I was gonna say sometimes, but definitely kind of often. And I usually meet people that I date on dating profiles and it is on there. It is on my dating profile that I live in my car and I travel around the country. The thing is most people don't believe me. Most people think I'm exaggerating. I really get the question quite often, oh wait, do you really live in your car? And I'm like, yeah, why would I put I live in my car if I didn't really live in my car? But a lot of people think I'm like exaggerating or just that I travel sometimes, but I don't in fact have a home base. And so that gets a little like confusing for some people because I do understand that it's not a very typical lifestyle. And so kind of the two reactions that I generally get, there are some that aren't one of these, but most of them are one of these. One is, oh, that's really cool. And one is, oh. And so it's like, I really do get the people who kind of get it, who kind of get like, oh, she really likes to travel and so she's doing it. That's really cool, like good for her. Or I get, of course, the people who say that they're jealous of me, which I don't really believe in. I think that if you really wanted something, you'd figure out a way to do it. Not in every case, but in most cases for, you know, like single 30-year-olds, I think that that's, you know, generally. But so the other one that I generally get is just straight up confusion. I got one the other day that was a very like, oh, do you live in your car? 'Cause it's like a hard time right now. And I'm like, no, it's because I want to. And it's like really just, I think just certain people are gonna get it and certain people aren't. And that's not a bash on them whatsoever. It's just, I really do understand that my lifestyle is so different that for some people, they like can't comprehend it. And so they're like, well, okay, but like, why don't you get an apartment or why don't you get a hotel or, you know, like, oh, so do you need a place to stay? You know, it's like, no, I don't. Like sometimes people offer me a place to stay and I do take them up on it, like friends and stuff and people that I know. But some people think that I'm like, oh, you're homeless and you need a place to stay. It's like, no. I have a home, it's my car, and I don't need a place to stay because I stay in my car. And again, sometimes I do stay at people's houses, but it's, some people just don't get it. And again, it's not a bash on them, it's not a bash on me. It's just sometimes personalities don't mesh up really well, you know? And so usually those conversations don't last very long, but a lot of people do think that it's cool or they just understand that it's the lifestyle that I've chosen and it's just kind of like, oh, okay. Just like, you know, any lifestyle that you've chosen, which I think is different than a lifestyle that you fall into. I think quite a few people just kind of fall into a lifestyle because it was expected of them or because what everyone around them is doing. But I think that if you choose a lifestyle, I think that's the most important thing. And this is the lifestyle that I've chosen. Again, once people understand that I'm living in my car because I like to travel so much, I think they get a little bit of a different perspective on it. And so honestly, I would never date someone who thinks that what I do is like weird in a negative way, or who like feels bad for me, or who like hopes that I change or anything like that. It's a really big part of my life and it explains a lot about me. And so if they looked down on it or thought it was negative in some way, then I just wouldn't end up dating them. And so someone that I wouldn't end up dating would either think that it's cool or at least neutral, you know? So the next one is, did you tell your employer that you're homeless? And if so, what's their reaction? So again, I don't really see myself as homeless, but my employer, okay, so the one like full-time job that I have, my manager knows. I'm trying to think if both my managers know. I don't know if the owner of the company knows. I have no idea. I don't think he does, but I never really have to talk to him. But my direct manager, I do customer service, my customer service manager, he knows that I live in my car and I travel. Because we have meetings every day, like little phone meetings every day with our team. And I think maybe like a month into my job or so, he was just like, oh, Katie, because I'm the only remote one. The rest of them work in the office. And so I think he was just like, oh, Katie, like where do you live? And I was like, oh, well, actually, I travel all the time and I live in my car. And he's like, oh, so where are you now? You know, like he just kind of was interested in that, and that was it. And so maybe like once a month or so, he'll be like, oh, where are you now? You know, again, it's people who understand choosing your lifestyle, people who understand that not everyone is the same, not everyone wants the same lifestyle. I think they just get it. And then you know what? And also if he judges me, I don't know. And that's fine. But I think that they just kind of get it, that people want to live different lives and they're not going to judge you for it, because it's just, we're all so different. And so I have not felt any judgment from him. I don't know what he actually thinks about it, but he just was kind of like, oh, cool, where are you now? You know? And then the next manager up from him, I feel like he might know, but I'm not sure. And if he does know, I don't know what he thinks about it. And then obviously I have YouTube as a job, and you guys know. And then my copywriting job, I don't know if he knows that I live in my car, my boss on that job, but I know that he knows that I travel, and that, because when I first started the job, I was living in New York. So I started that job a while ago. I know that he knows I'm not in New York, but I don't know if he knows that like I live in my car. I'm not sure. But again, it's kind of like, if you're working online, it doesn't really matter where you are. And so they shouldn't really care. I don't like the word should, but they shouldn't care. And like I said, I don't think my bosses care. As long as I get my work done, that's kind of all that matters. And so, yeah, I don't really feel any judgment from that. So what my friends think, it's kind of the same as like my family / even people that I just meet. I'm not gonna have friends who are going to like be super judgmental about my lifestyle. And also, to be fair, I don't have that many friends anyway. And most of the ones I have are people who have moved around a bunch, or they're touring musicians, and so they just kind of understand my lifestyle, or people who have just known me for so long that they're just like, oh, okay, yep, that's just what she's doing. And since I would say my closest friends trust me to a certain extent and trust my decision-making skills, they're not gonna judge me. They're just gonna hope that I'm safe and hope that I'm doing something that I really enjoy doing, and that makes me feel content, and that makes me feel like I'm living out my purpose in life. And that's what I think should be important to the people closest to you, is, are you doing what makes you feel content? Are you living out your life's purpose? And are you doing it in a safe way? I think that if really they really love you and care about you, your friends, your family, whoever, if they really love and care about you, that's gonna be the most important. And if they do judge you, honestly, and this is just my perception of it, is maybe think about if those people are really a good part of your life. Because if you have something that you love and it's not hurting anyone, me living in my car is not hurting anyone. I do it in a very safe way. I really enjoy it, and it's what I want to be doing right now. And so if I had a friend who tried to talk me out of it all the time, or who told me what I was doing was wrong, if I had friends who outright judged me, I don't know if they'd be my friends, because I think it's important to support your friends in the things that they want to do. But if you realize it's hurting them, then that's, sure, speak up, absolutely. And so again, that's when my friends have spoken up, just to make sure it's not hurting me, because they know that I have anxiety and stuff. And so I remember one of my friends specifically has asked me, well, do you think that staying in one place might help your anxiety? And I don't think it would, at least not right now. I really don't think it would, because I like being on the road. All right, so there's 2 more categories. So I'm gonna talk about like random people, and then I'm gonna talk about YouTube. And so I obviously, since I travel so much, and since I live in my car and I'm always kind of out doing stuff, I do meet a lot of new people. When I mention that I live in my car, most people are just kind of curious, because again, I know that it's not common, and it's not a common thing that people want to be doing. And so most people kind of just get curious. And again, if people start to get judgmental or negative, they're just not gonna be people that I have in my life. And honestly, most people don't. Most people that I just kind of randomly meet, they just kind of like, oh, okay. And obviously if you meet someone for just a few minutes, they're not gonna be judgy, you know, like, well, most people aren't, at least. They're just kind of gonna be like, oh, okay. And then maybe they won't talk to you anymore, but that's okay. You know, everyone's different and everyone wants to have different people in their lives. So most people don't judge when I explain it in the way that it really is. Like, oh, I'm traveling a lot, so I live in my car. And it's like, oh, whoa, and they want to hear more. You know, a lot of people get curious, and a lot of people are interested in that lifestyle. And because a lot of people honestly have thought about it. A lot of people that I talk to is like, oh, I thought about that, or oh, I've done that for a month before. And so I think that even people who might never do it, it's always something that maybe they thought about for a second, you know, like, oh, what would it be like to just get up and go, or get an RV or something, you know? I think a lot of people have thought about it. So most people aren't very judgy. But then the last thing I'm gonna talk about is YouTube, and a lot of YouTube is very, very judgy. I don't mind saying it because I really do want people to have an accurate view of my channel and what I'm doing with my YouTube stuff. But I also don't want it to seem like I'm defending myself, because I'm not. It's just that there's so many people who ask and who are confused of what I'm doing. And so I'm totally okay talking about it. Obviously, that's what the channel's about mostly. A lot of people on YouTube are pretty judgy because they think that I'm doing this because I'm lazy, or because I don't want to get a job, or because I'm begging you guys for money, or because of something that's just a lie. I'm doing this because I want to share information, and because I want to have this community, which has grown so much, and I'm, oh my goodness, so grateful that my channel's grown so much. And so now we can have a bigger community and keep talking about this kind of stuff, and hopefully help people stop judging so much. You know, that's one of my goals, is to help anyone judge a little bit less than they normally do, because you never know someone's full story. You might see 2 minutes of my video and be like, oh, that girl lives in her car, but she has an iPhone. Oh my gosh, how she has an iPhone but she lives in her car? Well, it's because I work 3 jobs, so I can have an iPhone. That's, you know, like, that's why. Or I could have been gifted this and then randomly become homeless, which is not true, but that's a thing that could have happened. But people just see a situation and then judge, and it's not really helpful for anyone involved. But so YouTube honestly is the most judgmental place, which is just gonna be obvious. That's social media in general, but I don't like that that's the truth, but it just is. And even God says we're gonna be attacked. And so this is me, and I stand firm in my beliefs, and I stand firm in my lifestyle, and I know not everyone's gonna understand, and that's okay. And I know most people don't want to live this way, and that's okay. I'm not telling you to, but if you want to, then I want to help you kind of make that transition and really understand that it's okay. Whatever lifestyle you choose is okay, as long as it's really your choice and not just something you're kind of drug into? What's that? What? I don't know. I think it's important to make choices in your life. Otherwise, other people and other things around you will make the choices for you. And this is the choice that I've made, and I know I'm gonna get judged for it, because first of all, people judge what they don't understand, people judge what they're jealous of, and people judge things that they don't know enough about, and people judge things that are different, and it sucks, but again, hopefully that will change. Slowly but surely that will change. And so I understand that people on YouTube look down on me or judge me or think that what I'm doing is wrong, but in reality, this is a life that I want to live, and I work really, really hard to live this lifestyle. But people, once they get to know me, and or once they get to know you, judge less, you know, because they actually understand that there are choices that lead up to your lifestyle, and there are different motives, there are different desires, there are different wants, and there are different situations that we're not totally in control of. And like the one time that I lived in my car when I didn't want to, I really did not want to, but it was the thing that I had to do, but it ended up being okay. We don't need to put value judgments on everything. Just because it's different than what you want or what other people want doesn't mean it's good or bad. It just means that it's something that you're living through, and it might change and it might not, but you'll learn how to make the best of it. I hope, because that's, again, the most important thing is the mentality, is the choices that you're making. And so if you're thrown into a situation that you don't really want to be in, do your best to get out of it, but also while you're in it, see what you can learn and see how you can help other people while you're in that situation, because it might take you a while to get out of it. And so if you're just looking at the future of when I get out of the situation, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, you're not living in the present, and you're wasting the time you have now. So even if it's not the situation you want to be in, even if you rather something differently, see how you can learn, how you can benefit, how you can help other people, how you can do something productive in the situation you're in right now. But again, having other people judge you and you judging other people, it's pointless. And so if you guys judge other people, maybe stop. And if you're getting judged, do your best. And this is so difficult, I know, trust me, do your best to focus on your goals and to focus on what you're supposed to be doing, what you want to be doing, what you think God wants you to be doing. Focus on that. That noise, that outside noise is never gonna be beneficial, especially when it's negative, unless it's like constructive criticism, you know, but most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's, oh, you're lazy. No, I know I'm not lazy. And so that's, you know, it's really, really hard to keep up that barrier, but just do the best you can. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Click that little bell and click the all, I think it says all, so you get notified for all of my videos because I post 2 to 3 times a week. And let me know in the comments any other questions you have. Again, I'm doing Q&As every Tuesday for the rest of the summer, and so any other questions that you have, let me know, and maybe I can include them in a future Q&A. And that's gonna be it. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Now it's time to